Tuesday edition of the DBS News World. My name is Timothy Polio. We commence our broadcast tonight with news that the island moments ago recorded its first homicide. This is coming on the heels of a weekend of accidents which claimed 3 lives. Joining the broadcast at this time is DBS's Lisa Joseph, reporting that a prominent medical doctor has allegedly been murdered by a relative. Lisa?
Thank you very much, Timothy, and you're quite correct that we're coming off a weekend of 3 deaths in St. Lucia due to road fatalities. But this particular incident has really sent shockwaves, and particularly through the medical fraternity. Dr. Trona Bennett, a gynecologist who had her office at the Tapia Hospital. And I can tell you that we left the scene some 12 minutes ago precisely, and her colleagues who were there were simply heartbroken. The information we have is the very latest, up to 12 minutes ago, and what we have learned is that between 11:30 and 12:30 today at the scenic hillside of Truyan, where Dr. Bennett lived alone, she came into perhaps some argument with a relative, and that relative being her son, 31 years old. He is currently in police custody. As to how all of this incident unfolded, it is still unclear to police officers. What we are being told is that Dr. Bennett perhaps may have been on her way to work somewhere between 11 and 12:30, and would have encountered her son outside because her bag was found outside, the car keys found outside. There's also a stick, a walking stick, presumably found within the vicinity, as well as rope. We'll be hearing from Vernon Francois shortly on that. What we also know from the police is that Dr. Bennett, up until last evening, lived alone, and that her son came to live with her, resulting as a result of a quarrel that took place with the father, who incidentally is Dr. Andrew Richardson, who's also stationed at Tapia Hospital. So we'll go to Vernon Francois, the interview with him, as he gives us a sort of picture as to how we can piece this puzzle together.
Referred to the police at about 12:30 this afternoon. We went to the scene, and the body was found lying in the sort of the living room area of the house. Basically, it's in the entrance of the house. And what we are doing at the moment is the general processing of the crime scene matter. We have Dr. King, who is a pathologist, and also Mr. Murray, plus police officers from our scenes of crime section. They are involved in processing the crime scene at the moment.
Tell us how she was killed.
Well, what we are looking at through some blunt force, which caused by maybe a piece of wood or something, or maybe she might have been strangled because there's a piece of rope somewhere around her neck. As to the exact cause of death, we have not determined. I suppose that's the function of a postmortem.
We've been told that someone may be in police custody in connection with this. Can you verify that?
Yes, her son is in police custody with reference to the matter. At this point in time, he is a suspect, but as to what is going to happen moving forward, we cannot really make any determination about it now.
Who was in the house at the time of Dr. Bennett?
The son was in the house with her at the time.
Did he live there? Occupants, just the 2 of them?
Well, just as far as we know, just the 2 of them.
And the husband, do we know, is he in? Has he been able to give you any details on?
Well, we've spoken to the husband. As far as we know, he doesn't live in the same house. He lives in a separate location, so as far as we know.
Doctor, that would be Vernon Francois, the ACP crime. What is also very interesting here, Timothy, is that there was an argument, as I said earlier, between the son and Dr. Richardson. He made a report to the police last night, but did not request that the police take any action when they did say that would go to arrest him. He, according to the police, decided against doing so. Now we are hearing from the officers, only if they had decided to keep him in for the night, then perhaps this gruesome murder would not have taken place. The 31-year-old son was found on the road by police. When the Grosley police responded to the call of concern, they went to the house, and on their way there, they encountered the son walking on the road. And when they stopped him, he said he was on his way to see his mother. And so they took him into custody and went to the house. We're being told that the house was locked, and police had to gain access to the house via a very small window. And the police is also saying that he was very lucid at the time. We go now back to Vernon Faswan.
Okay, we'll be hearing from the ACP with responsibility for crime and intelligence in just a moment. But Lisa, I imagine there's quite a media scrum outside the residence of the doctor earlier today?
Absolutely, just about every media house was there wanting to get that story, but we were kept at bay by the police. The area was cordoned off, and just a few close colleagues were allowed to go in, close colleagues of Dr. Bennett and of course of Dr. Richardson. I
also imagine that many of our viewers at this point in time were sympathizing with the family, because they can identify with the doctor, because she would have provided them with medical attention over several decades now. We are ready to hear from the ACP with responsibility for crime and intelligence, Mr. Vernon Faswan.
In police custody, yesterday with reference to a report that was made to us, but no police action was requested. So,
was the father involved in that report?
Yes, the report was made to us by the father.
What was the nature of that report?
I'm not prepared now to go into the details of that.
And you would not deny that it was a report that involved violence, would you?
Well, like I said, I don't propose to go into the details of that particular report, because it was a report made and no police action was requested.
Okay, do you know if anyone else has been injured so far, or hurt so far? The boy, was he hurt? The son?
No, well, when we found him, he had blood on him, but he indicated that he received a cut at some point last night or something like that. But as to any serious injury, he does not.
Okay, would you be in a position to know if the father was injured last night or today or sometime in the last 48 hours?
As I indicated, I'm not proposing to comment on the father, because that report was made to us.
Are you treating it as being
who's
related?
Creating the relationship, you?
No, is the police treating it as being related, and would it have a bearing?
I think eventually there will be a degree of relationship between the incident last night and what took place today.
At what time was he released by police?
I don't know the exact time, but it was last night. As I indicated, no police action was requested, so we could not have kept it into custody.
As to why for no police action?
But I suppose
if the report was filed, then certainly there may have been some intent. Was any inquiry made as to why no action?
I suppose apart from in cases where we have a homicide, people have an option whether they want to proceed with the matter or not, and if they request no action on the part of the police, we, I suppose, comply with their wishes.
Is he cooperating with the police right now?
Which one?
The son.
Well, I do not know. He's in police custody. He's at Grosley police station at this point in time. As to, because from the time the thing happened, I have been here and I have not been in a position to speak to him.
Have the police questioned the husband and father yet?
Well, we've spoken to him. Whether you can call it questioning, it's really up to interpretation, but we have spoken to him.
As the island's ACP with responsibility for crime